cybernetics pioneer Dracogenics is making headlines with what they're calling instant consciousness transferal technology. But many are already referring to it as resurrection tech.
Investors are scrambling for a piece of Dracogenics. The list of wealthy donors has increased, with celebrities and politicians from around the world jumping on board. The ResTech satellite network has expanded globally, making Dracogenics a household name
Allegations
overnight.
swirling today as rivals accuse Dracogenics of trading immortality for political influence. Federal authorities were called to investigate.
Continuing civil unrest today following the privatization of city services. Dracogenics security forces clashed with rioters all through the night.
Dracogenics CEO Stephen Dengler was exonerated today as the newly appointed judge dismissed the charges, calling them, quote, frivolous and unfounded.
Dracogenics have nobly provided their own private security force to assist in subduing the last stubborn holdouts of the city's poor and desperate. They announced the offenders are safely confined to the lower levels of the city where the
Dengler responded today to claims of a new threat from a shadowy corporate rival. Answering a call to action from stockholders, Mr. Dengler denied rumors of ResTech secrets being stolen in an act of corporate espionage.
It's just in. We're hearing that city police have apprehended a suspect related to the wave of recent anti-Dracogenics attacks. City security forces have the suspect now in custody after a gunfight with police that left several...
Okay, comms are a go. Hi, I'm your company contact, providing mission intel and support. Call me Tag. I'll supply data to assist with side jobs. But remember our overall mission here, breaking Dengler's monopoly on ResTech and taking the authority and power it gives him. We're running a ResTech system ourselves, but it's flaky as hell. Its range is limited to our relay beacons, and there are no long-term backups. So if you lose an agent, don't wait all day before hitting upload. It's not perfect, but it might just give us the edge we need. We've re-established a signal with one of our agents, but the others are scattered, so the first thing we need to do is to reassemble the team. Voice comms will be minimal for most of the op. Communications are heavily monitored in the city, so encrypted text is our most secure way of keeping in touch. I'll open up voice channels again when necessary. Good luck. You're gonna need it. Tag out.
So, from here, let me know if the game sound is too loud. Like I said, I think that kind of the menus and stuff like that before was exceptionally loud, but once you get into the game, that's when the actual like sound options seem to kick in. Yeah, a bit maybe a bug or something like that. Alright, so we're going through the tutorial. How to move the camera, how to move your character, how to sprint, double click. Let's see. Get into cover. Okay, so this is actually something that's really important. Sounds okay, thank you. This is actually something really important because it's not just moving, and it's actually not just cover, but it's also, I think I want to say it has an effect on the enemy's ability to actually detect you. And not just because you're getting into cover, but it seems to me that at times when you're moving around as a squad, and instead of clicking into the middle of the ground, like your characters will just kind of like run into place, they'll actually, it looks like they're sneaking like to that location instead, which I want to say has an effect on, like I said, the enemy's ability to actually detect you or not. Click the weapon button to reveal the foldout. Okay, so this is showing us what weapons that this agent has available to them. Select the weapon. There's a better way to do this. Alright, so next up we're going to shoot this mofo. Right click. And then it's just auto attack from there. They'll take cover when they're reloading, pop out when they're ready. And that's it. Alright, so here's an important thing. Yes, putting away your weapon is extremely important. So you could either left click, which is highly inefficient, or simply press the spacebar, as it said, to put away your weapons. I got busted like a few times just walking around like that with my weapons out. It's just bad. It's an interesting mechanic that they chose, that you have to manually put away your weapons like that, rather than it just being automatic. I would have preferred that they had an auto holster, because it's kind of, it's an unnecessary technicality to have to think about, in my opinion. Like, I don't remember being like, okay, I'm gonna put away my gun now, like when playing the pen and paper version. I suppose if you're really being serious about your RP, then you would say something like that. This game seems to follow, it seems like at times, pen and paper kind of rules. Pen and paper RPGs, I mean. Alright, so we're trying to simply avoid getting detected by the camera there. Because if they do, then obviously agents are going to come bust our ass. Bad agents, not our agents. Alright, so the relay beacons, this is kind of the one of the central aspects of the story, is that the company that we saw the story of before, Dracogenics, already have like a really strong technology that is basically allowing people to be resurrected upon death with a new body. And this rival company that we are working for with our agents has these relay beacons, and as it said earlier, the technology that this company has, this rival company, is kind of glitchy and not as strong, so we need these relay beacons to act as locations for our resurrection, or respawn, really. Okay, so once we have all of our systems back up, we can re-equip agents, so right-click. So from this we'll get one more, sorry. We're going to get a third and a fourth here pretty soon though. So selecting each of the individual agents is really simple, pressing 1, pressing 2, or to select all of them, Control A, or you can click and drag like that as well. Alright, so let's move to the security door lock here, and our agents should be able to break into it. Okay, right, so it says locate the other terminal with the world scan. There it is over there. Okay, so what we'll need to do is unlock both boxes at around the same time. So we'll send one agent over here. She should be able to do this. Yes, she can. Okay, so I'm gonna get the other guy working on this box and quickly get her sprinting over here by double right clicking. So as you can see, the duration of, for example, doors being open, cameras will be disabled, things like that have a certain duration, and it's cool because what they did is they created two ways of disabling security systems. One, you can destroy it, but by destroying it, you're going to basically raise alarms. This is simply confusing the system for a certain amount of time, so you won't actually get agents, enemy agents, coming your way because of that. The system won't even really know that it's broken. Alright, so this is something that also got me kind of early on. I think this happened on the last live stream. I don't know why, but I had like a strange like confusion, like as far as like the depth and height of things here. You can see that this is a full wall, so if we stand here up against this, they're standing up, and they may like peek around the corner or something like that. And then you have these shorter walls, which you really have to be careful and make sure that you're leaned up against, because if you're just standing there, then obviously they can see you from like the crotch up, which is bad and will get you busted. So this guy, if I pop up now, like in a standing position, this guy will definitely see me. So now we can actually see kind of what I was talking about, how they'll sneak like that. See, they'll keep a low profile as they're moving from one location to another, and that makes a huge difference, I think. So we're trying to get to this door, and I don't think we're trying to get into any combat, so we gotta be nice and sneaky about this. If we get into combat, it's really not going to be that big of a deal, but it's best not to. This is a stealth practice after all. Okay, so no problem. Their sight is much better than their hearing. Much, much better. Alright, so same as before, if we're standing here, even though we're on an elevated position, if we're standing here and we get up to like this rail area, but we're still standing, they'll be able to see us if they were security forces here. So even in a position like this, you want to make sure that if you're trying to stealth around an area, you want to make sure that you're keeping low like that as you're moving around. As it is now, we're actually out of the hot zone, so we can run around without an issue, as long as we have our guns put away. Alright. With your weapons away, you can waltz right through crowds of civilians without causing a panic. There's something different about this terminal up ahead. Let's go check it out. Okay, so the terminal has a higher security on it, requires an agent with level 1 hacker ability, someone like our hacking agent. Use the world scan ability again to identify who has security access to the compound. So we're going to press the Y button, which is basically a hotkey for skills for your agents. This is our support agent who has the world scan ability. So instead of left clicking on it like a noob, we'll just press Y. I say that now, but watch me left click on shit later. Alright, so there. With the world scan, you can see all kinds of interesting extra information, and including highlights like this that show us kind of people of interest. People, for example, that we can bribe for information, info brokers, or maybe security guards that wouldn't mind letting you through for a price. What else? This will, even for the, I almost said white people, but that sounds kind of racist. These white people, I don't know why that's funny. You can select them as well, and for a price, you can pay to find out what their. This is kind of getting ahead, but you can actually pay to find out what their stats are, and by examining your DNA, and like I said, we'll get into this later. It will give you an idea of how powerful they are. For our relay beacons, the res technology, we're not going to resurrect into them, but we are going to brainwash them for a short time and send them to, I guess, the headquarters or whatever, where I guess some tests will be performed on them, maybe just a little blood extraction or a scan or something like that, to copy their stats or whatever, and then with those stats we set them free, I think. And then we create a cloned body with those stats, that blueprint for our agent to resurrect into. It's kind of creepy, but it definitely adds to the weirdness of a cyberpunk world. All right, so we got the information that we needed. Now we can go over here and right click on the store, and we don't need the world scan anymore, so press Y. Go back out of that. I applied for a job for a store and was offered a second interview. A second interview? What the hell is a second interview? Did they not get their first choice, and so they're gonna re-interview you, their second choice or third choice or something? I've never heard of a second interview. All right, so we've got ourselves a third agent. This is our official hacker. First one is the soldier, first one is the support, and now we have our hacker. Hacker has the hijack ability by default, and this is the skill that you'll use once you identify, like I was saying before, like a citizen who has good DNA. You can hijack them, you basically short time brainwash them, and then they'll do just like whatever the hell you want, pretty much. This can also be, once you've upgraded it high enough, because all of these are skills that can be upgraded, I think. Except for maybe the world scan. I think it only has like one level or whatever. But the hijack one can be upgraded and will actually allow you to take over enemy units. So if there's a really powerful guy and you have a strong enough hijacking ability, you can just brainwash him and then he's yours, and he'll fight on your side, which is pretty sick. Hot? No, actually it's quite cool. I've got a lovely fan blowing on me right now. All right, so like I said, we got our third agent, which is cool. We're gonna go rescue our fourth, which I believe is the one that was part of the story that we were just hearing at the beginning. All right, so fantastic. We have our hacker, and then just right click, and then the hacker, even if you have all of them selected, will go, hey, I'm that person that needs to go touch that. Let me touch it. Doors open. Let's go. All right, so we got ourselves another relay beacon. Always go over to these and activate them. Otherwise, they're completely useless to you. Now, these relay beacons do a number of things that they, for example, I believe these also resupply you with ammo. You have to stand near them to make adjustments to your loadout or what gear, basically, that you have equipped on you. Things like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's actually going through that right now, the tutorial. Managed to find a silencer. Let's get it up and running so we can equip it on our agents. So we're going to go to the main menu here, and this is where we can find, for example, on the mission control, this is sort of our quest log, if you want to look at it like that. It shows us a larger map of things that are going on, quest details, things like that. Our research section, once we find interesting things like, for example, a prototype weapon, then we can spend a large amount of cash, usually, to send that item to the R&D department, and then they will be able to make duplicates of it, so that way all of your agents can equip it. For example, guns, body armor, all sorts of things. But for now, we need to go to the loadout. So this is where we can select down here at the bottom the individual agents and make all sorts of adjustments. This brings also another selection of submenus. We have augmentation, which, for example, will augment, if you understand Cyberpunk, our agents and their abilities. We have gear. For example, this would be like body armor, I think. And of course, weapons. This is where we want to look now. So, going to select our pistol. This brings up another drop-down menu, and we can select an accessory or an augmentation for our weapon, which is the silencer. So select the silencer from this menu, and then you will need to purchase or pay the fee to have the modification made to your equipment, which is instantaneous here at the relay beacon. You can only do this at the relay beacon. And now we have a silenced pistol. Now, if we want that changed, we can. And I want to say that because we've already paid for it once, we can freely swap from one augmentation to another without paying for it again, I want to say. But I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong. And we have to do that for each individual agent. So we would select this agent, select their handgun, select the silencer again, and stuff like that. Keep in mind, though, that things like silencers aren't just like a cool, awesome upgrade that isn't going to have some kind of consequence. There are a lot of consequences here in Sunlight Rain to the things that you do. So, for example, by equipping a silencer, we're actually losing ballistics damage. Decreases ballistics damage by 15%, but ballistic sound decreases by 100%. So you're losing some power, but you're gaining the ability basically to shoot enemies without it raising raising alarms to the sound of the gunfire, because gunfire definitely is a great way to get a lot of bad attention in this game. But the silencer works. What I actually do, I don't equip this on everybody. You might have noticed from the first look video that I did, I only had one particular agent, which was the Infiltrator, which we don't have yet, but we're going to get soon. And I had her with the silenced pistol. Everybody else had like different pistols, which were, I think, more powerful. I just wanted the one person for kind of silent killing like that, and it was working really, really well, I thought. But that's augmentation 101 there for you for weapons. About the cloning, this is what I was talking about before. From the clone menu, we have a list of our 3 agents, and this name isn't actually the name of the agent. It's the name of their their body, or the blueprint that's been applied to their cloned body. This is the name of the person that we copied, I think, basically. And so when you start hijacking more people, you'll see like a list of all these new people that you've been hijacking and having their DNA copied for you, and they will have completely different names, obviously, because they're different people entirely. But you'll be able to select them. They'll have maybe, for example, higher stats, more speed, more health, or something like that. And from, of course, the relay station, you would select that. We'll go over this and I'll demonstrate it, but you'll be able to select that and then jump into, with your ghost, into that body with the better stats. And here is the skills menu. Once we have skill points, then we'll be able to select from these class. Some are class-specific skills. Some are just kind of generic. Like, for example, health. Everybody has a health upgrade. Weapon specialist also is kind of global, but the hacker, for example, only has hacking. The support has field medic. Soldier has draw fire. This is a really good skill for kind of taunting in a way. All of the enemies like, hey, shoot me, suckers! And then everybody shoots him, which can be dangerous, of course, him or her, because it depends on the body that we're hosting at the time. But yeah, I like that skill, and it works really well with the support's ability. Is it the field medic? I want to say. Yeah, the field medic is, I believe, an active skill. Some of these are active, and some of these are passive skills. So in other words, you will maybe have to activate it in order to make it work, or it just works on its own without you touching anything. And that's it. That's a quick kind of demonstration of what the menu has to offer, and we're done here. So now we get to take a ride on the zipline. The zipline is this cable that you see here, connected from 2 points, usually one higher elevation to a lower elevation. And there is, as it's saying here, there's a risk to doing this that kind of like the roll of the dice in a pen and paper game, you may or may not succeed, right? You may or may not roll the number that means you make it or not. And if you don't, then you fall. And I have this theory that the longer the zip line is, the higher the chance is that your agent is going to fall. Like, after a certain distance, if they don't have a certain skill, which only the infiltrator has, I think, in using zip lines, then they're going to bust their ass. And depending on the fall, they may simply be hurt, or maybe they will die. So we got to press Alt. I don't think I have Alt on my Nostromo. So Alt over here, and then right click, and then everybody's going to jump on the zip line. And who's going to fall? Oh, it's... who is that? The hacker. Alright, so when people go down like this, you'll see that after a certain duration, they'll sort of bleed out, if you will. Like, they're in trouble, and if you don't help them, then they will die. It's actually going really slow compared to if they've been shot a lot and they've lost so much health that they're in that state, then they'll actually bleed out much faster. So you gotta pay attention to that and make sure that you're picking up your agents before that gets really bad. Alright, so I think we're done here. The zipline demonstration. Now we're gonna go disable the security over here. There was a general application drop-off date and 30 people came. What? We were all doing an impromptu interview, but it is a basic run over of what was an application. So it wasn't a real interview. There are only 10 slots open, and I guess I qualified for the actual interview. Oh, okay. Some kind of fancy interview process we got there. Grim. I actually like that, to be honest, being able to choose the loadouts of your individual squad members. I never played XCOM, but a lot of people say that a lot of people say that XCOM is quite good. Okay, cool. Equip your silence pistol. So yeah, by pressing Alt and 1, we'll be able to basically hotkey our way to the silence pistol. I need to check something really quick though, because this is gonna bug me. Okay, yeah, I'm on the wrong... Speaking of loadouts, I'm on the wrong Nostromo loadout for my keybinds. So there we go. Now, hang on. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. I want to be able to use my Nostromo better. Alright, so with our silence pistol equipped, now we get to do what I was talking about before, a silence kill. I don't know if it's okay if we have all of our units selected or not. It should be. Let's find out. The one, yep, there we go. The one with the silence pistol, or the one qualified to do it, just like hacking a console, we'll go ahead and move into position and do whatever it is that they need to do. In that case, an assassination. Everybody drops loot. Damned if I know what it actually is yet still. I haven't been paying attention or something to it actually saying what it is that I'm picking up. I think it's ammo, but maybe at times it's going to be more than simply ammo. And what is... there's a guy in hiding over here. I wonder if that's how I got busted last time. Maybe it wasn't that this guy saw me. Maybe it was that this guy was kind of hiding there and I didn't see it. Okay, so I wonder if we can sneak up on him too, just like we sneaked up on the other guy just now. Okay. Whoa, we gotta be careful. This guy's coming this way. We should be hidden though. I made sure I crouched behind the sandbags. Alright, we're cool. Do it! Kill that mofo! Really? You have the pistol. What the fuck? There, okay. That was weird. I had to tell him like 3 times. Freaking shoot the guy! And then finally he started moving out of his position. And then my agent moved over there to assassinate him. Alright, so what we're doing, which is much smoother this time still compared to last time. This is a disable camera system. We can see by the purple icon. We're going to disable that right there, and then that should make it easier to sneak up to open this door. But there's still one more guy that I want to deal with before that, and he is coming our way. Now that's a nice tall wall, so he can't actually see us, but better safe than sorry. Nice. Nice and smooth. That's the way I like it. Alright. So let's go disable the camera system. You can see from the camera over here, and that's it. Camera's down. Let's get up to the door. Yeah. We're now in the downtown district. got another relay beacon over here. Let's go hit that. And from here, yeah, from here basically the game opens up and lets you free roam and do whatever it is that you feel like doing. This is an open world game, so you go where you want, do what you want, pretty much, for the most part. We're gonna have some busy work for our agents to do, things like setting up beacons, hacking into ATMs for more cash. As we go, we'll discover all sorts of new things that are gonna update our mission list, mission control list, right? And give us more and more things to do. Now we have 2 things here listed in the mission control. I believe that the district downtown is simply a list of kind of side things that you can do. These aren't, I don't think, required to progress in the game, just kind of side missions. And then we have the project satellite rain. These are, I want to say, the main mission objectives that we do have to accomplish in order to push the story forward. If we take a look at the map over here, you'll see that there are 2 different colors of zones. We have the green zone, which is just anybody goes anywhere, and then you have red zones. Things like, for example, the police station. We have Wyvern Inc. We have the Dracogenics guard station. These are all secure locations. Even though their doors sometimes are wide open, it looks like you can just walk in. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to just walk in while patrols are around that door, because they'll just start shooting you. There's no warning at all to just walking into these places. Like, hey, you! Back out of there right now, or else they just start shooting you. But this is where we're gonna get a lot of cool side missions to take us into. Some of our main missions are gonna go into these places, and kind of like how there's an icon here. I think that each of these icons is linked to an actual active quest or an active mission that you have. So right now there's no logo here or icon, whatever, like this, but there will be later, and I think that that's just for trivia's sake a means of identifying that you have something to do over there. Like these relay beacons, for example. These icons are like, hey, you need to go to this location and do this. That's what those serve for mostly. And then we have like these red sentry turrets. Those are, I don't even know, because I haven't even I haven't gone into those zones that have those yet in my main game, but they look very, very deadly.